Oh, it's that time again, catching you up on all the country music news of the week that maybe you caught, maybe you missed, but we're getting into details of it. It's called Murph's Music Roundup. Come on. As always, I do appreciate you taking the time out to view this. And if you do like the content that I bring, do me a favor, please like, subscribe, share it with a friend today. So let's start things off. Yeah, kind of hit by surprise on this news with Bunny XO and Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll, in fact, did file for divorce. Now, we're finding out about the news this week. However, the divorce, in fact, was filed on May 18th. And that's after almost 10 years of marriage between the two. Now, a source initially came out and said that it was a mutual decision between the two, and it is a private matter of the two, and they'd like to keep it that way. But needless to say, Jelly Roll and Bunny XO have had their ups and downs in their relationships. And if you went to Jelly Roll's Instagram, he wiped out Bunny XO's name in his bio. So I guess it is Instagram official. Now let's try and break it down even further, because Jelly Roll's tour stopped off at Saratoga Springs, New York a couple days ago. And Jelly set the record straight to the crowd. He said this. He started off by calling the internet a liar, and that he and his wife Bunny XO are still best friends, and they will always be best friends. And before Jelly said, "I'm not going to speak no more about it," he mentioned nobody cheated on nobody. So that's Jelly's side. What about Bunny XO's side? You see, she opened up about it on her recent Dumb Blonde podcast. And she stated that her marriage ended to Jelly Roll when they had a huge blowout on Mother's Day. Now, here's the other thing of it. She didn't get into detail on what the argument was about, but she did turn to him and say, well, file the divorce papers then. I think she put in an expletive in there, but I'm not going to say it. However, Bunny XO did admit that she was merely speaking out of anger and frustration. It got the best of her, and she didn't necessarily want Jelly Roll to file those divorce papers. Now, I told you both sides of the story. Obviously, somewhere in the middle lies the truth. I'm really hoping that the two can find some salvation together, but only time will tell. So check this out. We found news that a new Grammy rule change that just happened may open the door for Ella Langley. Ah, the Grammys, the award that everyone wants to win in the industry and few get. But the one thing about the Grammys, country music hardly gets its shine. Well, the Recording Academy is changing things up. They added some new country folk categories, and they also announced this little change. When it comes to the all-genre Best New Artist category, the Grammys altered the nomination process. You see, now an artist could be nominated for the new music category 4 times instead of 3. Big shout out to you, Jalen Brunson. Well, you see, this opens the door for Ella Langley now in that category. She's now eligible entering in 2027. So I guess the next best question is going to be, are we going to hear, and the Grammy goes to Ella Langley? Or is this just for naught? I mean, listen, if you really want me to pull the curtains back and show you Oz, look at the credits that roll really fast as to how the nomination process works. And when you see who votes and how many votes they get, you then understand how the awards shows work. Ah, Dolly Parton, the country music icon. You want a piece of Dolly Parton history? It's going to cost you, though. Hear me out. Dolly's former retreat in California is up for sale. It's going for around $2 million. However, it has 3 units on site. The front unit is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. The rear unit is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And the bottom bedroom is a 1-bedroom cottage. It was built in 1920 in Santa Ynez Valley. And if you want a piece of Dolly's history, well, this is it for you, without a doubt. She also has a wig room dedicated to all her wigs. Yeah. Now, although Dolly's wigs aren't actually in the room anymore, I'm guessing maybe the headpieces are still there where you could put your own wigs. How about this news? Out of nowhere, Brett Eldredge low-key got married. We didn't even know that Brett Eldredge was even dating anyone, let alone it being serious to the point of marriage. You see, this week he took to social media with the news. There were photos of him wearing a suit, holding hands with a mysterious bride in her bridal gown. And he wrote in the comments saying, "I met an amazing woman who loves me for me. Someone who's just as goofy as I am. Some of the best things in life are the ones you plant and grow in your own sacred space, away from the noise." Now, clearly, this has been away from the noise, Brett Eldridge, because we had no idea about this. And then you just take to social media saying, hey, I'm married. There's a ring. I put a ring on it. Congratulations. We don't even know the person's name that he married to. But I'm sure the internet sleuths out there will eventually find out. And Alan Jackson's farewell concert is happening next Saturday. Well, before that concert, Alan Jackson hit the news this week to let everyone know that his Silver Belly whiskey is having a grand opening. Yeah, they're opening up a distillery and museum in downtown Nashville on Thursday, the 25th. And the whiskey is going to go right from the barrel there to the bottle. So you can enjoy some of the freshest whiskey right literally out of the barrel there. Oh, and you can enjoy a glass by walking through the Alan Jackson Museum and seeing some awesome memorabilia. I might end up drunk just walking through the memorabilia. It won't take much for me to get drunk also of Silver Belly whiskey, maybe a glass or two. Well, that's all the country music news I have for you this week. The big stories that hit, maybe you missed, and I'm catching you up on, or maybe you wanted some more detail on. That's what Murph's Music Roundup is about. Please, if you do like this content, do me a favor, like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. I do enjoy bringing this country music news, entertainment info to you. Also, if you go to my Instagram right here, you follow that and you will see I do a Murph's Music Minute. It's a shorter, condensed version of up-to-date country music news that happens throughout the week leading up to this. Thank you for stopping by for Murph's Music Roundup. I'll catch you next week.